Our owls will show respect, live responsibly, and stay safe. Hey, McLean Owls, Principal Brock once again. I am so excited that we're going to be able to welcome more students to in-person learning here at McLean Elementary. I want to go through a quick little walkthrough of a few items at McLean that have changed, and make sure that everybody's on the same page. The first thing is going to be our parent drop-off and pickup in the morning. It's going to be very similar to how it's been in previous years, but this year we have to make sure that we're masked up, and I'm going to show you what happens as soon as we enter the building. Let's go. Alrighty, McLean Owls, once we get out of our vehicle, we're going to go up to the stairs on the left side. This way we can stay away from the vehicles who are coming through the roundabout. And look, there's Miss Alex to help us out.
Good morning, Mr. Brock. Are you ready for a great day at school?
Yeah.
All right. Come on in. And we are going to take your temperature. So I'm going to check it against my hand. I'm going to hold it up against your forehead. And you are good to go, Mr. Brock.
Fantastic. Alrighty, friends. If you had a chance to eat breakfast, you're going to head off to class down the hallway. We'll have some teachers here to help you out. But if you need breakfast, we're going to go into breakfast right here. Look at that arrow. It tells us which side to go through. Hey kids, it's time for lunch. And we're going to show you what you do if you bring a lunch from home and if you get a lunch here at school. So we will have assigned seating where we'll only have 3 friends at a table, and you'll be all spaced 6 feet apart. We will know whether, in the morning, we will know whether you want to have hot lunch or if you brought a lunch from home. And if you have a hot lunch, it will be ready for you at your assigned seat. If you have a cold lunch, you'll just bring it from class. Let's go eat lunch. As you see, you'll have your cold lunch if you brought that from home, and if you have a hot lunch, it'll be right here in your assigned seat. This is one of the few times that you'll be able to remove your mask. It's really hard to eat with the mask on, so we'll be able to eat our lunch, and then once we are finished with it, I put my mask back on, I raise my hand, and there'll be an awesome adult who'll be like, yes, go ahead, Mr. Brock, you can dump your tray. So I'll grab it, and I'll bring it over here. And if I happen to have leftover milk or anything like that, I will dispose of it, and then we'll put it in the garbage can. I will then come back to my spot, and we will have a nice, this will be wet with just soapy water. And if there's a little bit for you to clean up here, boom, we'll just wipe that up and put this back here. That allows our phenomenal custodians to focus on sanitizing and making sure it's ready for the next group of kiddos who come into the cafeteria. When all of us are done in the lunchroom, guess what time it is? Recess. So we'll line up for that, and we'll show you what that looks like. So we're nice and calm, we're calm bodies as we line up. I still have my lunch box with me. So let me show you what we're going to do with that. When our adult tells us to, we're going to get ready to go towards recess. We're going to come this way, and we will have a table here. So this is for our kindergartners. We'll have one for each grade level, and it will say your teacher. So I'm going to take my lunch box, and I'm going to put it right here because Miss C is my teacher for today. And now I'm going to go to recess with my friends, and when we come back, we'll pick it up before we go to class. All right, McLean Owls, recess. One big difference about recess from what we used to do is we will have to be masked up during recess. But the great news is we'll only have a few classes out here at any given time. And so you'll be able to have the big toys and the swings and the other playground for you to be able to play and have a good time with all your friends while you're here on campus. All right, so we're coming in from recess. I gotta grab my lunch pail. I got it, and then I stay on the right side of the hallway. Alrighty. Now the first thing we do, we're gonna put our stuff away in our cubby. Take my lunch pail. I'm gonna put it in our cubby right here. And then the first thing we do when we enter the classroom is we always wash our hands. So I come over here. See that awesome light? It lets us know that it's 20 seconds. We're done. Oh, drop a little piece. Awesome. And now I find my seat. And we're all set for class.
Word of the week. Word of the week. Word of the week. Word of the week. The word of the week is brave. Brave means doing something even though you're scared. Some examples of bravery are trying food you've never tried before, standing up for a person who's being picked on. Sometimes we use bravery to present a project to a group of people, like standing up in front of your class, to ask for help. Talk to someone you haven't talked to in a long time. Introduce yourself to someone new. Ready? Okay, one. Bye, owls! How can you be brave this week?
Bravery. February is Black History Month. Our word of the week is brave, and there are many individuals who display bravery. Two that come to mind are Ruby Bridges and Sojourner Truth. At 6 years old, Ruby Bridges made history for the civil rights movement when she became the first African American student to attend an all-white elementary school in New Orleans, Louisiana. In the 1954 case Brown v. Board of Education, the U.S. Supreme Court concluded that, in the field of public education, the idea of separate but equal has no place. This landmark ruling put an end to segregation in public schools. Although the law supported the integration of schools, many community members did not. Ruby Bridges first attended William Frantz Elementary School in November 1960. Ruby and her mother were escorted by 4 federal marshals to school every day that year. Crowds protested around her, but Ruby persevered. In 1999, she established the Ruby Bridges Foundation to encourage tolerance and change through education. Now 66, Ruby Bridges remains an activist for racial equality. Sojourner Truth was born in 1797. She was enslaved for the first 30 years of her life in New York. In 1827, she ran to freedom with her daughter to an abolitionist family. The family bought her freedom and helped her reunite with her son. Sojourner became a preacher, which allowed her to meet several well-known abolitionists, including Frederick Douglass and William Lloyd Garrison. She started giving speeches about anti-slavery with the help of Garrison's anti-slavery organization. After meeting Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony, both prominent women's rights activists, Sojourner started supporting the women's rights movement. During the Civil War, she continued to speak nationally and help individuals who were enslaved to freedom. After the war, she was invited to the White House and became involved with the Freedmen's Bureau, an organization dedicated to helping freed slaves find jobs and build new lives. She continued to fight for civil rights until she passed away.
All right, McLean Owls, we're back talking about our student outcomes. This week is outcome 2. And outcome 2 reads, students will have the academic and life skills to pursue their individual, career, civic, and educational goals. What does that mean for our students here at McLean Elementary? Some life skills that I think that are super important are things like being kind. We talked about that last week. Other important life skills are like being able to tell time so we know when to be at a certain spot or when school starts and to make sure that we are ready to go. I also think about our owl expectations as great life skills. It's really important to be respectful, to live responsibly, and to always stay safe. So every single day at McLean Elementary, we are trying to do those things. And that points to outcome 2 for our students. We also talk about some educational goals. Goal setting is super important. But we have some really awesome tools that help us set educational goals. All of our students get things like these wonder books that so many students have been working on throughout the year in distance learning with their teachers. We'll continue doing that when students come into hybrid as well. But like things like Wonders, that's our reading curriculum, or the tools that we have to help our students become better readers. Other things like Number Corner is part of our math curriculum. So this allows us to become better. Like our kindergartners are really focusing on counting. How many days have we been in school? I hear there's this really important day coming up that's triple digits. 100 days of school is getting ready to come up. So many awesome things. We see patterns that we notice through Number Corner. There's a lot of really great things that allow us to reach our life, those skills that we want for life, but also those educational goals that we have. And once we teach those to you, we also try to measure how well are we doing? Is Mr. Brock making sure all of our students can progress to the best of our ability? And so we administer something called MAP testing. And it's kind of these check-ins 3 times a year that see how well our students are doing in areas that we can continue to grow in. And so to talk a little bit about MAP testing is our phenomenal testing coordinator, Miss Moore. She's also our teacher librarian.
Hey McLean Owls, it's Mrs. Moore. Not only am I a teacher librarian, I'm also the testing coordinator, and I know a lot of you have been testing this week, and we still have more to come. But I want to give you the positive. You are rocking it. From kindergarten to 5th grade, it's been challenging with the technology and doing it distance, but boy, you're doing awesome. And families, thanks for being there too.